Good morning, students. I'm Lauren Davis.
I'm Michele Beador, and we're back, kids. No more
We're
substitute
back,
teachers.
baby. Well,
Oh,
we should have.
we didn't. We
We
don't
were
have.
responsible enough to get
Yeah,
substitute teachers.
no,
Abandoned our class.
yeah,
Abandoned the lesson
abandoned. Yeah,
plan.
who knows what's going on? But if you're still here,
Yeah.
you also have a
Papa.
broken brain.
Yeah. Okay, so we are going to be recapping a classic season of reality TV. I think one of the top 10 seasons ever, in my opinion.
It's one of the. We're going back to the classics here, people. We're really going like we're diving deep into what's really important culturally
Right,
and has
right. They don't
changed
make them like this
things.
anymore.
They
Yeah.
don't.
And I think in the fandom this
This is
season,
canon. This
this
is
is
canon.
canon.
This is
This is the
This
Criterion
is
collection
part
of
of canon,
Housewives.
right?
Yeah. Um so oh my god, Housewives Criterion closet. I wish they had that.
My
But anyway,
God.
this is also we're celebrating the 10th anniversary of this season this month. Isn't that crazy?
That's
Um
crazy.
I
Oh
know.
my God, that's
um,
crazy because I
it's
watched this
crazy.
while it was Watch What Happens Live. I
Watch What Happens
did.
Live, same.
Watch
Yeah, and it was a magical time. This is season 10 of Real Housewives of Orange County, which most fans will know as the season where Brooks pretends to fake cancer and Vicki helps him.
Mm,
Vicki's so dickmatized that she goes
mhm.
full Manchurian candidate and goes
Yes.
down with Brooks's sinking ship.
Mhm.
So like the way that this is described, or I've seen it described a lot online by the fandom, is it's like the perfect storm of things coming together to create perfect reality TV. Like
The
number
perfect
one,
Shannon Storm.
the perfect Shannon Storms Beador. Even the episode titles are like Storms Brewing, Baptism by Fire, Tahitian Skies,
Insane.
Paradise,
It's like a soap opera.
It's
It's like
so good.
it's
Yeah.
Dynasty.
Yes, and, like, I think it's a perfect balance too because it's, like, some of the most appalling behavior we'd ever seen on reality
Right.
TV,
But
or
beautiful
at least Bravo
homes.
until now. Beautiful
But
homes, like and now when we see, like, really appalling stuff, the housewives are too scared to call it out. They're protecting each other. Like, look at, we never really got call outs of Erica Jane for, the
right.
widows and orphans or Jen Shaw. Everyone's too scared, but
Mhm.
because of a perfect confluence of events, a newbie who had a lot of time on her hands, Meagan King
Mhm.
Edmonds,
A little
we actually
detective.
a little detective, and of course the excellent work of archvillain Tamra Judge.
Mm.
Everything was set up where that actually became the story of the season, and it really unraveled like a mystery. Like this is like
Right.
honestly a way better season than season 10 of VPR with Scandival
Ugh,
because
yeah.
we're actually getting answers and we're getting them
We're
in real
seeing
time.
it. Yeah, we're seeing
We're seeing it play out. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. Oh, Meagan King. She didn't get enough time on that show.
She didn't get enough time. And like I think the great thing about the season, if you haven't seen it, is you need no prior knowledge. Like season 10 of Vanderpump Rules, you really kind of have to be like reading, like, oh wait, Tom and Raquel were banging here and she was pretending with Schwartz. Like it's otherwise it's like it's not good unless you know all the backstory. Season 10, they spelled it. It's Agatha Christie, baby. But also it's like it's so funny. Like
It's Agatha Christie if we've read it.
if we've read it. Yeah, like
Right.
yeah, it's Clue, like
It's
a perfect
Clue.
mix of mystery
It's
and
Goosebumps.
hilarity. It's Goosebumps. It's Arnstein, all of the masters
R.L.
of
Stein. Yeah,
TV.
canon. That's what we're telling you. It's canon. Be careful
The
what you wish for.
Housewives of Goosebumps. Like, and everyone's like working to their strengths. Like Tamra is like brilliantly evil maneuvering from the background. Shannon is like she's got a really dark story too. It's like the
Mm.
beginning of her marriage crumbling, but she's also
Ugh.
being so funny about
She's
it.
so vulnerable and gosh,
They just
she's
keep
so
it
Lucille
light.
Ball. This
Yes.
is like, when Lucille and like Lucy and Desi are not going through such happy times, but Lucy still brings the smiles.
She still brings it. Yeah, she
Yeah,
still knows the scene
she's
work with all of the alternative doctors to
yeah,
make
she's still
this a lighter story.
it does pratfall.
work at the end of the season. We
Mhm.
won't spoil it. Okay, and yeah, it's just a perfect balance of both comedy and drama, which I
Dr
don't think we
we
see a lot.
can't
Like right now, The
I don't
Valley
get
season
it.
2 is
It's
like
just
too
dark.
dark,
We
you
need
know.
somebody to be funny, honestly, I and even on the Valley, it's like even when VPR was out, it's like when it was so, 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 so dark, like all that shit with like Laura Lee, which she was funny though. It's like, or Stassi would say something
Mhm.
funny, I know, like controversial take, but like we would see something really fucking dark, and then it would just Tom Schwartz would be an idiot, and it was kind of funny, and that was
It
what
as
made these shows
serious
so good.
Yes,
There's nothing
as
funny
dramatic as it
anymore.
is, it doesn't take itself too
We
seriously,
we
you
have to
know?
there needs to be a lightness, even like in Roni with the Berkshires episodes, which you could argue are very dark. All of these women are drinking really heavily, saying really appalling things to each other. People's fathers are dying of pneumonia. But then, it's like
But they're having
Bethany called me
fun.
a slut.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're having fun and they're being themselves, you know? I
right.
think, like, the being true to themselves is really the element that
That
makes
we're
this season
missing.
so colorful and hilarious. We see so much alternative medicine scenes, like, we have so many kind of new scenes we hadn't seen before. Okay,
This
so,
was the put 9 in a bowl season too, right? Her
9 lemons in
tagline.
a bowl. Yeah.
Yeah. Put 9 in a bowl.
9 in a bowl, and that is, Shannon's, antidote, that one of her many fake doctors that she's paying,
Right.
like, hundreds of
Dr.
thousands of
Moon.
dollars to for, her crumbling marriage. We find
Right.
out that David Beador, her husband, did in fact cheat on her for
Mm-mm.
years, for
Right.
years,
Mhm.
and, she's still kind of hiding this from the rest of the women while shooting scenes with him exclusively talking about her cheating on or
Yeah,
him
it's
cheating
this
on her, which
yeah,
is funny too,
yeah, they don't even
apparently.
pretend to try to be passive aggressive with each other.
Yes, and
They just
you can tell he's so pissed that this keeps coming up on camera. He wants to kill
duh.
her.
Yeah, yeah, and
And
and, like, just his piercing blue eyes in scenes where he's like, "I don't need it.
yes,
I don't need to take this water to my room. I'll just drink it right here on the counter." They're staring at it's so
they're pupilless,
it's
just
wild, no
s
blinking. Yeah.
yeah, he's like a murderous Tate Donovan
Right.
is who he
He,
reminds me of.
Jesse from the Valley took notes from David Beador from OC.
Yes, definitely, he's got the American Psycho Iceman
Mm.
vibe
Mhm,
down.
mhm.
So it opens with, one of the most iconic scenes in all of
Ugh,
Housewives, and it's not even our main plot. It's a bizarre couples therapy boot camp retreat that Shannon and David
sign
are
me
on
up.
to reinvigorate their marriage, which includes, the scene we see is a simulated funeral where
Ugh,
each partner writes the eulogy that they want their spouse to deliver for them, and then
ugh.
these doctors, they're very good. No
These
expense
these
spared.
these therapists who wanna put this on national TV to promote their business, which when you
Yes.
see this, you're like, "This is no marriage could ever even just survive this." It is
This is the
so
ultimate test.
It is the darkest thing, but it's also so hilarious because you can't believe this is how 1, the season's opening, and 2, that they agreed to do this, and 3, this is a real thing.
And 4, I think how Shannon is 100% in and is
All
loving
in.
every minute of
That's
it. She's like,
all
"This
in.
is
She's
healing."
she's a real performer.
She's like, "This is what healing looks like, a styrofoam tombstone
R.I.P.
personalized by this fake therapist that says, 'Lies Shannon,'"
With her
you know,
the years that like, the year that she was
years
born to her that she died.
this year.
Yeah, right now she's dead.
Why do they have to personal it's so
It's
crazy.
so crazy.
And
Yeah,
then
but they're also, like, in a conference room at a
in a
hotel.
conference
So
room.
she's laying on the floor of this conference room with, like, a styrofoam headstone from Party City
And then, like, a makeshift bed, they give her a sheet and a pillow,
and, like,
and she
one
lays
little
down.
flower, right? Like, she's holding a
Yeah, she lays
flower.
down, clutches it, closes her eyes, and then she has David read her eulogy, which is, like, the one she wrote for herself that she wants to hear him say. It's so sweet. Here lies my beloved wife, my soulmate. I love her so much." And then she reads David's eulogy. They flip out the
They flip.
tombstones, flip out
Right.
the lying down,
Mhm,
and,
mhm.
David's eulogy that Shannon has to read is David put up with me at my worst. I am a lot to deal with. We didn't always get along, but overall, I guess we were a team."
Yeah.
Just so
Yeah.
brutal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, and like, it's so her performance of it is so funny. Like, I guess
I
we were
guess we're
a
cured.
team.
Yeah. And I guess we're cured, and our marriage, and yeah, this really did, we'll see, saved their marriage.
Yes. Oh,
No, it
yeah.
didn't.
It did not. And then it's so funny. I looked back at her blog from the time, and she was like, "The
Oh,
Tombstone episode. Oh, I miss the blogs.
the
Were
blog.
so meaningful. Like, it was so great to finally hear him say those words that he hadn't said before, even if I was the one writing him. David did not understand the assignment, but we apologized immediately after. He apologized immediately after, and the fact that he was moved by it—that's what really matters."
Oh my God. Yeah, no,
So
it's like, even if he did write it, it's like, okay, Shannon, the only time he can ever say nice things about you is if he thinks you're dead.
yeah, yeah. And like a therapist is holding him at gunpoint on TV,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we see this is
And
just kind
it's
of like, yeah, the way the storyline plays out is all Shannon at various doctors. She
the
goes to Dr.
unraveling.
Tim, the
Yeah.
unraveling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dr. Tim, famous for he's the one in all the flashbacks who Shannon gets on he shames her on camera for gaining weight in all of her storylines.
Oh my God, no, this is like Shannon and David, like this whole season, it's just Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? Like it's just Elizabeth Taylor dancing with
Yeah,
Richard Burton.
it's a little Liz and Dick.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then Shannon also putting so much work into it, like being just shamed by so many like quacks and snake oil salesmen and putting her whole pussy into it, and
Her
David
whole
being
pussy, yeah.
completely checked out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dr. Tim is like,
Dr.
she's like,
Tim. These
"I
are
want
not
to gain
names.
34 pounds." Yeah, it's like he's not a real doctor. He's like a
Dr. Moon, Dr. Tim, like it's crazy.
sports medicine
Yeah.
doctor.
Yeah.
And then she and David also continue going to therapy at the hotel, even after the retreat is over. Why does it's not an
Yeah.
office? It's at a Sheridan.
It's at a Sheridan, which Lauren, truth
I
be
love
told,
Sheridan.
she thinks it's a very nice place to stay.
I think so. I mean, sometimes they've got a indoor pool,
Lauren, you're fucked
continental
up.
breakfast.
Ugh.
I just
That's
love
not a real
hotel. I
thing,
don't
guys.
discriminate,
Continental breakfast is not a real thing. It's not a thing.
I guess they've got eggs Benedict from America,
not
Benedict Arnold. They've
Okay,
got
next.
French toast.
Yeah. And according to
got
David, Shannon ate all of it.
Yeah. So this is like kind of a precursor, the Dr. Tim stuff, to her 40-pound weight gain, where Dr. Tim will really name him and shame
Yeah,
him.
he'll really put his ass into it. Ugh. Ugh.
And then finally, her last stop on the healing tour is Dr. Meagan, who has her move her tongue side to side to let go of,
To put in the diamonds in her
emotions.
molars,
Yeah.
You know what you do to align
Just her in
your
different places.
Mhm.
Yeah, all of
Yeah.
the Dr. Moon
Yeah.
specialties. And but we end the season with Shannon and David on a positive note. Shannon
Secret palsy.
she makes one last like attempt at exorcising the demons by giving herself one of her favorite treats, an enema. And
Just in a spit take.
just
Yes.
a little treat for Shannon.
But this is okay.
It's also the beginning of her enema addiction.
Yeah, this is what I was gonna say. Like, we see Shannon always talking about getting enemas, but every time we see it, which is a lot throughout all of the seasons, none of them ever go well. So I don't know why she continues. They're always she always needs so much assistance with them.
Yes. Yeah. But she has a lot of demons to expel because, before this, it was not looking good for them. Like, David took Shannon on her birthday, which was a big birthday because she hadn't celebrated it last year with him because he was meeting with his mistress on her birthday. She takes her to a sports bar with their daughters.
Right.
And she is
and
fuming.
all of them also, like, all 3 of their kids know about David's affair, and they just are always commenting on how, like, how mean they are to each other, the tension in the room, or they're telling Shannon to lighten up, or David to be nice to their mom, and, like, these kids just, like, wanna be able to eat dinner or have somebody help them with their homework or be in a
Or
band.
sing Dreamcatcher, whoa, whoa,
Yeah,
whoa.
yeah, honestly, Haim could never touch these girls.
Yes.
They were the real Haim, but, yeah. But the sports bar is so crowded.
Yes, I'm surprised they got clearance to
It's
film,
so
like,
crowded, and, like, the kids are like, "I guess we'll get sliders?" Like, and, like, the bar like, the waiter hands everybody drink menus. "I guess I'll get sliders?"
and Shannon's like, "Well, I think, everybody just needs to drink, we just need to loosen up."
"We just need to loosen up." She's like, "Do you have, like, Grey Goose? Like, can I get Grey Goose on the blah, blah?" They're like, "Do you want, like, a beer?"
The house vodka? Yeah, I guess that would like, I think that
He
he
knew what
needed
he was
to clear
doing.
with production where,
That it would
like, it needed to be planned for a while, and
Yeah.
probably he didn't do anything, so he just had to go somewhere where they had clearance already that
No,
day. So
I
he
feel
was
like
like,
he did a
"Okay."
lot of work. Like, I feel like this was so intentional. Like,
Pointed, yeah.
it was so demonic. Yeah, yeah.
His pupilless blinking
Yeah,
eyes.
yeah, he just wanted to be in a loud enough place that, like, he couldn't
He wouldn't
hear
hear
Shannon
squawking.
shrieks.
Still all the therapy paid off and they finally work as a team when at the end of the episode or at the end of the season Shannon is in her time of need and she has had the enema applicator. She has gotten it stuck up her ass. He's calling Dr. Moon for her. She's calling Tamra, and finally he helps her pull it out, and that's what
Right.
marriage is in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah, it might not what we all consider ass play, but this is pretty good for them.
It's pretty good. It's the most action they've got in a while, and it's like, what better metaphor for David, everything David's done to Shannon, where it's like, it's really gotten an enema stuck up her ass, how
Yeah.
pissed he is,
She got
and
the tube up there.
the tube, and he's the one who needs to pull it out so all the feelings can pour out like
Right,
diarrhea all over him.
emotion. Yeah, and wasn't
Yeah.
this, like, before, like, a bat mitzvah? They were
It was
they were
before
like
Tamara's baptism party.
yeah, not a bat mitzvah, very different, but same
Where she's
vein.
wearing everyone's wearing a white dress, and Shannon's, like, she's, like,
We'll get
already
to
in it. It's
that,
like,
but
"You're doing an enema in a white dress? Girl, you
she's
are
like
asking for a shit
she's like,
stain."
"I looked a little heavy in the dress. I needed to." It was after eating all of the meat and cheese from the sports bar, and she got really she got really
Bloated right up,
constipated.
all
Yeah,
the
she's like,
pride.
I need to get stuff out of here."
Classic. Well, there's another big contributor to this season. This was like one of the MVP rookie seasons for a housewife, I would say.
Mm.
Not because she necessarily had the talent, but again, the perfect storm of things lining up. And that is, of course, Meagan King Edmonds, affectionately named by the fandom Detective Meagan King Edmonds, for her work in this season. So it was the new addition to the cast. She was the youngest housewife from the cast at 29. So clearly, the producers were wanting to cast her in kind of more of like a Gretchen
Yeah,
role.
like, "Oh, she's, like, fun and dumb, and she's, like, married to, like, a older guy with, like, ex-wives, and, like, she's wealthy and she's fun," but no, she's got work to do.
She's got work to do. Like usually the reason that this younger person works on the OC cast is that they will all completely gang up on they will just dog walk her mercilessly all the time. They will bully her. They will be openly, they don't care
Talk about Bass Lake!
about being jealous or about being mean. They will all
Being
go after her
dumb
together.
because she's young, and it's
She's
usually, like,
gorgeous.
she's
She's
the
a
flight
model.
yeah, she's, like, flight Megan is not these things. She's very serious. She's got a job to do, and it's expose everybody.
Yeah, she gets a lot of flack early on for like why the same kind of stuff as Gretchen. Like she didn't actually accomplish
She
anything.
didn't
She
do
just
anything. It's all Jim.
tried.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Megan does think she's accomplished so much, but she's like a courtesan.
Yeah. No,
Like where
she's
she's
like
like, I
a
this took a lot of
courtesan
work planning. Like,
yeah, a courtesan who
sorry.
used to be in pharmaceutical sales. Like, she
Yes.
tells every I was
Oh, they
very
are family.
accomplished. Yeah, she's like, "I was very accomplished before, Jim Edmonds showed up. I know I'm only 29, but I did pharmaceutical sales. I traveled some."
The number one, like, hot person in their 20s
Kansas
with
City
a
and St.
fifth-degree job.
Louis. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So anyway, so, Meagan, a little backstory on Meagan. She, got on the show. She'd recently married Jim Edmonds, who was a St. Louis Cardinals player, and, he was, like,
He went to the World
beloved.
Series.
He'd won a
He went
ton of Golden Glove awards, and then now he's working in broadcasting in St. Louis. But he still has a house in the OC because that's where his daughters from a previous marriage live. Megan's stepchildren, who are like only 10 years younger than her, and their
Mhm.
mom, Jim's ex-wife, she is
Leanne,
actually Leanne Horton. She is dying of cancer, which
colon
is super
cancer,
sad,
right.
colon
Yeah.
cancer, but it does factor into the
Her
perfect storm
motive.
setup of
Yeah.
events. Yeah.
Because Megan does talk about, like, she is close to Leanne, like, they have a
Mhm.
nice relationship because, Megan's helping co-parent her daughter, but also she's trying to help her stepdaughter deal with those emotions of, like, she will be losing, she's watching her mom
Right,
kinda
and
die, and it's
this was
difficult.
Megan's, I think, storyline originally. Her personal storyline was that, Megan learning to co-parent, especially Jim is gone
He's
pretty much
gone
all the
all of the
time.
time. Yeah, all the time.
When he is on the show, he is
Hates
such
it.
okay, he's such a little bitch. No,
I
he
hate it.
loves it. He's such a gossipy little bitch. He loves snarking and going after the ladies. He's a real, like, Michael Rappaport type, but then
Ooh.
he's my least favorite type of reality TV participant where he wants to have his cake and eat it too. He loves
Mhm.
it. He loves getting in the mix, and then afterwards he yells at Megan because he feels, like, worried for his career, or,
Yeah.
it's like, "Why did
He
you bring me into it?" But it's
He
like,
always
"Bitch, you
tells
love
her.
it."
Yeah, he's always like he treats her like her she's his child.
I mean, I don't wanna, like, speculate on his sexuality, but I will say the vibes are very gay dad and daughter. That's, like, where it's like they talk shit together, he dresses her, uh,
Well,
but, like,
you
mean gay dad.
after they got divorced, it came out that, they would all like, they had a lot of threesomes together, like, it was, like,
Mhm.
Megan and her best friend and Jim, and then when
And
they
then
were
he left her
he left her
for
for
one of
the
them.
for the girl. Yeah, for
Yeah.
the threesome girl, because he knew
Yeah.
she was down.
Yeah, and she was younger. Anyway, so Megan's main storyline is kind of like parenting this
Mhm.
17-year-old girl whose mother is dying.
Right.
And Megan, the way she gets a lot of flack from the ladies for this. Although I do think that, like, the ladies, Vicki, Tamra, they were unfairly maligned.
Mhm.
Go after her pretty hard in Tahiti for it, that she is trying to be a mother to this
Yeah.
girl.
But it's
And
like,
it's
what
like,
is she supposed to do? And also, Jim is gone. He's literally gone like 90% of the time, like, especially during baseball season. He's not home. And baseball season is very long.
long.
Plus, he goes to spring training. So he really is gone most of the year. And their like daughter, Leanne and Jim's daughter, is like really struggling in school and struggling with these big emotions of watching her mom die and being on TV.
Right, and I think that, like, Megan, I guess, like, weirdly, she's a very type A trophy wife, very
Yeah.
Heather,
Very Heather
that's
Dubrow
probably why they
coded.
get along. Heather gets a lot of flack for supporting Megan in the early episodes, but, it's that she's, like, so type A. At first,
Hmm.
she's being very, like, "I'm gonna change this girl's life. I'm her new
Yeah.
mom. I'm gonna ground her. She only
Yeah.
gets her allowance if she does
She
this,
has
this,
to
and
go to
this," and it's
school. She has to go to
it's
school. The kid's not going to school, but yeah.
she can't impose any of this on her, and she'll just never be a mother in this situation. Like, she can be like a confidant, she can be a guardian, but it's like this she can't come step in and be like, you treat me like a mom when this girl's mom is dying of cancer.
Right.
Like, that's just
Yeah.
as a step parent, like, watching that plot and seeing viewers be on Megan's side with her
Yeah.
initial approach. It's like, I get it, Megan's young and she's not getting any guidance from Jim in this scenario, but, like, you know even bringing the daughter into it on camera, I think, is a
It's
little like,
weird. Yeah.
"Yikes," you
It's
know?
hard because, yeah, I mean, she's also trying she's getting onto the kid because, yeah, she's like she's older. Like, I think she's like what, 17 in this? 16,
Mhm.
17. Anyway, she's just like not going to school, and she does like a part-time school, or what did they call it on the show? Like, she only had to go like a certain number of days and she would get credit,
Mhm.
and she couldn't even show up for that. And it's like, I think it's like they called it like a hybrid school or something like that.
Yeah, but then but she talks to Jim about it, and Jim's like, "Look, she's going through all this. I'm super rich. We just want her to graduate.
We
Like,
just need her to, yeah.
you're not gonna like be able
She's
to
not gonna
change
go to
her
s
in
yeah.
3 months, you
She's not
know?"
gonna go like, she like, and Megan's like, "But she doesn't like, you have to go to college," and she's like, "I'm not going to fucking college."
Yeah, it's like I'm dealing with so much shit right now, including you putting me on camera.
Yeah,
You
and
know, like,
everyone, yeah, Jim's getting
and
mad at her.
I
Yeah.
just don't like how Megan was like, and that is another thing I'll side with my girls, my queens, Vicki, Shannon, and Tamra on. It's like I don't like her being so critical of this girl on camera, where it's like, I just, I wanted more for myself. Da, 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 da. It's like, bitch, all you did was she can marry rich too. In fact, she doesn't
Mhm.
even have to. She's gonna be rich no
Right.
matter what. Like, I just can't imagine going on TV and then like criticizing like the parenting of like my partner, and then criticizing my stepson when the co-parent is dying. It's just a little
Yeah,
cuckoo. I wish she got a little more flack for that, but the
right.
rest of her work on the season, it is a compelling storyline. She learns her lesson by the end.
Mhm.
It just always frustrates me that the reunion paints her in the right for that. But great work other than that this season.
No
Also,
notes.
she yeah, no notes.
Mhm.
Yeah, and she really wraps it up well. She takes, the daughter prom dress shopping. You see
Mhm.
like more of a friendly there, because they're close in age. They're gonna
And we
have
do,
more of just a friendly
they are, and
relationship.
we also do see Leanne a few times on the season too. Like, Jim and Megan have a party, and yeah, we see
Hmm.
Leanne, and
But
she's doing
all
her
this
best.
is
It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. So the fact that Megan had time to do what she did this season is pretty incredible.
pretty well, actually, I think that she did have a lot of free time. Like, because it's like this girl, she's, the stepdaughter, she's not there a lot.
Right.
She's with friends. She's probably like
Right.
avoiding her because she feels weird around her, and there's cameras at her house. She's kind of like, twiddling her thumbs, which is part of the confluence of events that
Mhm.
make everything happen.
And
And
Jim's
the first
always gone. Yeah,
Jim's
he's
always
always gone.
gone.
Yeah.
The first half is kind of business as usual, the way you'd think it would go down with the ladies, like attacking her. Shannon especially, is like, "Who do you think you are, Miss 30-year-old?"
Oh my god. So yeah, there's the episode where she lays into Megan saying like, "I start charities, Megan."
I
Yeah.
start charities, Megan, because
I
Megan
start
wanted help with
charities,
her
Megan. Yeah.
with
She's,
her
and this is the
charity events.
first time we really see Shannon yell at somebody like this, like
She
insanely in
rarely
public
dog
at a
walks people.
party. Yeah. Yeah.
This is her, like, dog walking season, like, the only
Mhm.
season where she actually is, like, taking people to task until the most recent
Yeah,
season
I'm
of
trying to
season.
remember whose party was that? Was that Shannon's own party that she yelled at Megan at? Or was it the
Um,
Heather's? It was not
I think it
Heather's
was
party.
Heather's pre-party before they go to Napa.
Okay,
They're like
yeah,
a
but
wine party.
yeah,
Um,
that's right. It was like the wine party, and Shannon's
yeah,
like,
no, the
"I
trip,
s
and then the trip to Napa.
yeah,
Yeah, I think
I
that
start
Shannon.
charities, Megan."
Yeah, okay, that's a different. Yeah, that's Shannon is yelling at her because Megan, she's just clueless. She's new to reality TV.
She's trying to
So
start like, do
she
stuff with
calls
charities,
she
yeah.
calls Shannon on camera
Yeah,
without telling Shannon she's gonna call her,
yeah.
without saying her full name. She's like, "Hi, this is
I'm
Megan." Like,
Megan.
and
And
Shannon's like,
Shannon's like,
"Oh, may I ask what this is regarding?" She like fully thinks she's a solicitor.
"Oh my god, I have," oh, wait, 1 second, and now we're
Yes.
back.
And now we're back. I had to take my sweatshirt off, and Michelle had to give a
What
delivery.
does your
Okay,
what does your shirt say? Tatiana?
Tatiana, she's a
Who
queen from RuPaul's Drag Race, season 2 and All Stars 2.
oh, no.
So that's kind of how it's going for Megan, like you'd think, until things take a turn after Tamra's sex party. That's where Megan's storyline really shifts, and there becomes a new target,
Uh-oh.
Vicki. So, when we
Sexy.
last when we last left off with Vicki, she's been in this like divorce with Dawn. It's finally finalized, and she and Brooks have had this on again, off again relationship because her daughter Brianna doesn't like
Hates him.
him. He's,
We'll find
we've
out
seen him
why
do a lot
later
of
at the
messed up
reunion.
stuff.
You
Yeah.
know, but essentially what we hear from Brianna at the beginning before all of these other sort of things unfold is that he's not a good guy, he's a grifter, and she blames him for the divorce with, like, he was a contributor to the divorce with Dawn, who
Yes.
Dawn is, like we've talked about in previous seasons we've covered. Dawn is essentially like Brianna's dad. Like, she looks up
Dad.
to him. They still
Yeah.
hang out. Like, I will see him on Instagram with her.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, it's interesting. Well, I won't get
They
into
still
all
have
of
that
that.
relationship.
I've gotta
Yeah, but
focus. Okay, yeah, so, Brianna has actually moved with her baby and her
Mhm.
husband to Oklahoma, partially, it seems like, to get away from Vicki because she's with Brooks,
Brooks, yeah.
and Vicki
Because she
has
was living
accepted
in the
this.
house. Yeah, she was living in the house. Ryan and Brianna and their baby, it was Troy, they were all living at Vicky's house. And,
Mhm.
when they were living there, Brooks wasn't allowed over while they were living there. And it's looks like he's basically moved in with Vicky, and Brianna has moved not just out of the house, but out of the whole state.
The state. It seems like, Vicky's chosen Brooks over a lot of people. Like there's been issues with
Her
him and
friends.
Tamra,
Mhm.
issues with, with him and obviously like her
Her
family.
children, yeah, they don't
But
speak to him. Yeah.
ultimately, Brooks, she's
He's
chosen
so
Brooks. Brooks has moved
He's got
in,
that
and
sexy accent. He's just got a
mhm,
certain way about him. After she got his tooth after he got a tooth, it's on,
yes, after he
baby.
has teeth now. We also find out that Brooks is sick. He
He's very
has
sick.
cancer.
Oh, that's so
Um,
sad. The
so
big
sad, but
C.
the
The
big
big
C,
C.
but also it's kind of, freed him up to have
Not work.
scenes with everyone else. Yeah, not work for one. And so no one can attack him for not working. And then
Right.
also they're filming a lot of scenes with like he goes to yoga at Cut with Tamra, all the people who used to like not fuck with him, not want to film with him.
They
It's like now they
talk
have to talk
well,
about
you have
the
to be nice
cancer.
to him,
You got to be
because you
nice
can't
to
you
him.
can't say mean things about a guy who has cancer. I mean, look at him. He's only having 3 drinks, because the cancer, well, it's not good if you're in the middle of chemo to be drinking alcohol.
It's very funny to see
It's
all of
frowned
these early
upon.
scenes where people are like, "Are you like I don't know,
You
are you
are you
drinking
fe
tonight or not
are you
tonight?" He's like,
feeling
"Yep, drinking."
terrible? Are you feeling absolutely terrible? I mean, not to I don't I just wanna preface this when we start talking about this. Lauren and I are never making fun of cancer, okay? This is
No,
just
no, no, no.
we're just literally
We're
recapping
making
what
fun of
happened.
fake cancer. I
Thank
think
cancer,
that's
because really, at the end
okay.
of the day, this is one of the most shocking seasons of all of television, especially reality TV, because you wouldn't imagine ever anyone would ever be so heinous to fake something like as
And you
serious
wouldn't
as cancer.
imagine, and especially like with seasons lately, you would never imagine that the cast would be ballsy enough to call it out. So it's
Right.
really like lightning in a bottle the way it
It
all went
is,
down.
yeah, it really was, yeah.
And we'll continue that journey, that mystery, building a
The
mystery.
mystery, yeah.
So
So I'm drinking at this dinner. Yes, I'm drinking. So he's still drinking, but
he's
not
still
as much,
drinking,
because the
and he's
cancer loves
also
alcohol and
the cancer loves
sugars.
alcohol. But we find out that Brooks actually the reason he's drinking is he's not really
He's
interested in continuing chemo. He's
right.
looking at alternative
He's
treatments.
alternative. Even
He
though
knows
he
this
tells
great
everyone
doctor.
he's stage 4 with,
Stage 4.
which is, there's no stage 5, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, and especially with pancreatic cancer has, I believe, one of the highest mortality rates of any cancer.
Right.
And yeah, he's not wanting to do radiation. He has a doctor friend. This guy's great.
He's a
This guy's
friend.
great, my doctor friend.
Yeah.
And
He's gonna
he
do some
says
juices.
resveratrol. Yeah, and so
Resveratrol.
still
Mhm.
everyone's still a little too scared to call
It
it out. I mean, and
it's a
obviously
little
like Shannon of all she's of course on his side where she's like, "Oh yeah, alternative medicine even better." you
well,
know?
that, but also we do find out, like, Shannon does know real actual doctors. She
Yes,
somehow
well
knows a lot of
part of
oncologists, and she does
what yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, she
Um
does also help with trying to get him to see specialists.
Yes, so, especially, like, Shannon is, like, the one who really has Vicky's back. Vicky's the only
Yeah.
cast member, she told about David cheating, so
Shannon's
she's
the only one that will
really on
talk
her
to
side.
Vicky at
The
this
only one
oh,
who well, not yet.
but
So, like
they've really gotten close
they're
this season.
really close, and then in all of these scenes, Shannon goes like, where it's
So hard on
like, where everyone's
anybody.
like, "Oh, really? Really,
She
Brooks?"
shuts
She's like,
everyone
"I
up.
love
"No,
it."
I called an oncologist and I said it like he's doing
Yes.
all these I know it because they're my friends. Like I know these specialists. I called Brooks on behalf of, like she's very
Yes.
defensive of anybody who's going
Yes.
to say anything negative.
Yes, and the reason, and also, like, everyone's tiptoeing around it. We see, Eddie, Tamra's husband, Tamra is talking about his cancer in a scene, or,
Right.
like, Brooke's cancer, and
Well,
Eddie coughs, "Bullshit," but
yeah,
no one's
well,
gonna touch it on
no one's
camera.
going to say well even like Terry who is an
Is
actual
a doctor.
MD, a doctor, but
He's
then
scared even.
he's scared even well, I think Brianna too. I mean, she's gone. She's in Oklahoma, but I think people forget like Brianna is a registered nurse. Like she was a nurse. Like I think she still is. I don't know if she still is, but she definitely was a working nurse at this time. So she would have patients. Like she knows what cancer looks like as a medical professional. She knows how the medications affect you.
So it's like
You're not
everyone's
able
kind
to
of
show
on
up. You
yeah,
can't show up to film a lot. You're very tired.
everyone's onto him, but no one wants to take the shot.
No one no, and
Until
yep.
our girl,
Megan
Tamra.
King? Oh, wait, Megan King.
No, Tamra takes the first shot. Tamra's the one who kind of sets this up. So Tamra's storyline is there was a girl, a new cast member last season, Lizzie, who really went after Tamra hard. It was a bad season for her. She got accused of stirring the pot. And then Lizzie, because she's going through a secret divorce in her
Mhm.
personal life and she doesn't want her kids to find out about it on camera, Lizzie basically not chickens out. I mean, I think
She's
that's
like a
actually
friend
the
of
the
or
the choice that I would make. But she goes down to friend of and she doesn't really shoot. So Tamara's kind of doesn't have a storyline this season, and she also wants to correct her image. Cut Fitness is doing poorly as well, so she's got to promote the shit out of that. And then she is also converting or being a born again Christian. She's like gonna be
Jesus
baptized
yeah,
again. So don't
Jesus
be mad at
Drugs
me.
2.0. Jesus Drugs 2.0.
Yeah, so basically her plot line is like, don't send me hate, everybody like me again. She's trying to get
God
good with the
save the
cast.
queen.
God save the queen.
God save
The
the queen.
queen of the Christians.
Yes.
So then she kind of Vicki earlier like early in the season, her mom dies, and the way Bravo does it is lets her know is having someone call a landline
At
where they're
Shannon's house.
at Shannon's house, and Vicki is like screaming,
It's
crying,
at a game night. It's like everyone's there having
at
fun. They're
bunko
actually
night.
it's not
Yeah,
yeah, the bunko. It's not like the bunko night that she had before with Gretchen. Everyone's actually
everyone's
having a really
sober.
good
Yeah,
everyone's having a really great time. It is like one of the most like
wrenching.
wrenching, but it's like captivating because it's
It's
like, oh my,
captivating. It's
you wouldn't
yeah.
believe that you would ever see such an intimate moment on TV like that. That's wild that they kept filming and she let that be shown like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think she really had, like, a choice. I don't
I
think
know,
that
but I
they
can't believe they got that on camera. Like, it is
I
so
know.
crazy. Yeah.
I don't know if they would do it today.
I don't know because
Anyway,
she'd probably get a text and be like, "Hey, like, take your
she
mic
would
off."
know ahead. Yeah, yeah, it
Yeah.
was one of those things that could only happen like that.
Mhm.
But, I mean, it's brutal, and honestly, I do think, like, even though, like, what a painful thing to be captured on camera, it does, like, I think, make Vicky a little more sympathetic in a season where she does some atrocious things.
Mhm.
And then we even get some like lightening up of like how dark this was when she has dinner with her son, and like she's like, "I'm an orphan. I just can't believe my mom's dead." And then
He's like, "You're
Michael, her son, is like, "Well, she was
50."
83. You know, I have
Yeah,
friends whose like
like
parents died when they were 10. Like, you kind of
yeah.
knew she was gonna die at some point." Which,
Yeah,
I'm
like
on Vicky's side. I'm gonna be a nightmare when my family dies, but he puts it in perspective comedically.
yeah, he's like, I don't think that anything shady was happening. I don't think we need to call the authorities.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, when she's telling her son that she's an orphan and she doesn't have anybody anymore and she's all alone, he's like,
Well, you've got Brooks and me,
"And
and
Brooks and, like, your brother Billy, like, what are you talking about?"
and then Vicky ends the conversation like, "Well, when I die, you and Brianna will be taken care of by my life insurance
And
policy."
he's yeah, because of
Like,
Kodo
okay,
Insurance, yeah, where
yeah.
you work as a VP.
You're like, I know.
I know.
Reassuring. So Vicky also brings a psychic medium to bowling nights so she can get in touch with her mom. And this is
Mhm.
where Tamra sees an opportunity. Now, unlike nothing shady happening with Vicky's mom's death, there is something very shady about this psychic.
Oh,
He
man.
is like you can tell kind of like a shit stirrer and trying to give good TV. Like, oh, let me see, let me talk to the spirits. Wait, what do you think about that tattoo? You like it? Well, then I think your mom likes it too. It's very like he's good for TV.
But
Tamra,
he's
game
not.
recognized game.
Yeah, but he does say something interesting at that lunch.
Well, that is why I do think Tamra completely sets this up. So, afterwards, Tamra gathers Meagan and Heather, not Shannon, because she's like she knows how tight Shannon and Vicki are, and she's like, the psychic had something he wanted to
Yeah,
tell
she
us
the psychic
about
wanted
Brooks's
us
cancer.
over burgers and salads.
Yeah, and then it's so funny the
He's
way
like
he like does
he's
not
like
even elaborate. They're like, so what did you want to say about Brooks's cancer? He goes,
he's like, "I
I
don't
don't
think it's
see it.
real." Yeah, I don't
I don't see it.
but
I
he
just
even, like, squints his eyes, like, he's like, "Mm,
I don't see it.
yeah, I'm not getting cancer. I'm not
It's
getting
so like
cancer."
Larry David is a psychic medium. Like,
Yeah, and he's
yeah,
like,
I don't see it.
I don't I don't I don't think he has cancer." And then this is the turning point.
This is like just so brilliant because
Yeah.
no matter like a lot of Housewives is who's the instigator, who started it, who made the first accusation, and Tamara has set it up so all of their hands are clean.
Yeah.
And this
This
like
was so psychic.
psychic who
This
desperately
little
wants more business.
like, he clearly was like a waiter working as an actor at the restaurant. Tamara's like, "Sit down if you wanna be on TV.
Yes.
You don't need a SAG card to be here. Do this."
I'm sure it paid off in Spain. I'm sure he's
Oh,
very,
it's very
I'm sure he has a
famous.
YouTube series, calling fake cancer on everybody.
Yeah,
I see it, I don't see it.
I don't see it, and I don't think that I don't like that tattoo. I don't think people like that tattoo,
We
and I
should
don't think
get
it.
him on the show for the Yolanda episode. Like, did she have Lyme's disease? And he'll be like, I don't see it.
Mm, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So anyway, they all the women are like, wow, like they're kind of tiptoeing. They're like, are we doing this? And they tell Shannon.
Mm-mm.
And Shannon is still absolutely in Vicki's corner. She's furious. Vicki finds out, she's furious at all of them. It's her
How could they
birthday.
do
She
that? Yeah.
uninvites them. She was going to go to NASCAR with them, but she just goes with
Nope.
Brooks and celebrates.
Yep. Yeah.
And Tamra keeps working on Meagan at NASCAR. Like they all are still like, well, I don't know. He probably has cancer, but maybe
He did
not.
he did
I don't
lose
know.
some weight, they were like,
Yeah.
he did look thinner.
Yeah. Everyone's still scared until Tamra tells Meagan that
What the psychic
Brooks
said.
has been talking shit about her and Jim. Brooks, she was at a game with him and Eddie and Vicki and Brooks, and they said that like the marriage isn't good, that they're broke. And then Meagan is like, holy shit, she's so pissed that from here on out, for the rest of the season, Meagan is on a mission. So then we get the turning point of the season, the sex party.
Ugh.
So Tamra has thrown a sex party to show Christians can still fuck
Right.
and promote
Yeah,
cut fitness.
she is gonna get baptized this season, but like she still fucks Eddie, even if they are not having sex on screen like they used to.
Yeah, this is a soft core that they do on screen.
Yeah, yeah. It
instead.
wasn't the hardcore we saw before.
It's a soft core sketch promoting cut fitness, basically.
And everybody is dressed like a drag queen.
Everyone is dressed insane. Everyone's in wigs, like
like
but
whips and like like it's crazy. There's like ball gags. Like it's wild. Like I
OC
can't.
has the best costume
They do the
parties, and there's
best
always such good drama.
Oh, good. Yep.
And so then, and also like the Dubrows
Oh my
are
god.
doing leech treatments, so they
my
they
God.
come and they're covered in blood from the
Blood.
leeches.
Yeah, and Heather's trying to tell people she got her period. No, she doesn't do that. She's like, I'm still young. This is my period. No, they're just like they were like they try everything possibly that could be anti-aging, which is crazy because like he's a doctor. I wouldn't think that he would be like, yeah, put leeches. And they're
Yes, the
literally
medieval treatment. Like
Heather is having to put maxi pads on her stomach because she's bleeding so much, but also wearing this like hot leather skirt and boots and a wig, and she's
and it's like
maxi pad on her stomach.
and then Tamara's like notices like she's like blood is dripping down your body.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you
And then-
okay?
Yeah, and Terry's like, she's like, Terry, Heather's bleeding. Like, you're a doctor, do something. And he goes, leeches. bitches, baby.
Another really funny part about this party is Vicki she's so
Oh,
sex negative. So her
yeah.
in a sex positive environment, there's like a sushi model
Oh my
laying
god.
out naked
Oh
with
my god.
sushi
Yeah.
on her.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Vicky's
No,
like, you need to get
well,
a real job. What would
you
your
need to
mother think about this?
what's
She's
the
a
what's the highest
paralegal.
level of education you have? And like the girl, like there's, I mean, that was like kind of a weird thing that used to be really popular, I guess, with people
Hmm.
like women would just like be completely naked and covered in sushi. And
Men
then
too.
you,
Men too.
yeah, yeah, but yeah, so she's just trying to talk to this girl who has to be really
And is not
still,
allowed to talk really.
who
Like she's
can't,
like,
so she's not like, so salmon's not flying off of her tits. And Vicky's trying to, you need to go to college, like you're still beautiful, you still have your youth, but you need to do better. I'm disappointed in you, and I know your parents are also disappointed in you.
she like can't talk back. Like literally, they can't talk back because that raises the temperature of their body and it
Right.
makes the sushi
This is
rot.
raw. Yeah,
Wild.
Vicky. Yeah, she's like literally like going down to this girl's level to talk to her who's like laying down, like, you need to go to college.
The girl's probably like, I mean, honestly, if you were gonna try to make anyone go to college, that would be the time that they were the most
Right.
vulnerable, being
Right.
a
Yeah.
sushi platter
Yeah,
on
where they're like, oh my
their
god, like
sex.
there's eel on my pussy right now.
He's
Maybe I
like, it's
have
time to
basic.
quit. Time to
You
quit
know what?
acting.
Like
Like it's not
maybe
gonna
I
happen.
yeah, maybe I just need to give it up and like be a PD, like a veterinarian.
Yeah, I bet you like 90% odds that she joined Kodo after that.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like I think that she does cold calls for Kodo.
Okay, and then the big events of the hour.
Mm,
Meagan confronts Vicki and Brooks about
right,
talking shit about them, especially
right.
Brooks, with
And
Jim.
this
She
crazy
brings
black
Jim on board.
wig. She's got this like
Or pink
crazy,
wig.
or like a
Yeah.
pink wig. Yeah, she's like
It's very
very
Natalie
dumb.
Portman
Not.
in Closer. Yeah. Which also is
Mhm.
great because Meagan cannot dress for shit. She's very Giselle disease, very beautiful, cannot dress or style herself. So this is at least she's looking cunt, at least she's
She's
looking
looking
like a hot
cunt,
stripper.
and she's looking cunt, but everyone is like, "You are a cunt," including Jim.
Including Jim. Jim is both furious
According
at
to
Brooks,
Jim, he's our
but
new according to
somehow,
Jim.
according to Jim, he's furious at Brooks, but then also furious at Meagan
So mad
during
at
this
Meagan. But we need
confrontation.
to talk about. So she does confront. She does one of her what becomes classic Meagan confronts Vicky. Yeah,
And Vicki
walks.
completely snatches her wig.
Yeah, she does a real wig snatch, and she's like, she can't believe the audacity, because what she didn't say on camera is like, this is your first season.
Yes,
And this
that's
is my
really what she
show.
can't
So
believe.
that's the
Yeah.
other thing, and that's also, I think, part of why people are like this is like Vicky is the last girl standing who has been on since season 1 at
The
this point,
OCOG.
right?
Yeah.
She's
And Vicki is like shocked and so
just
frustrated and
yeah.
like, and
How dare you?
and then it's like it seems like Megan might even back down, especially because like generally the other women protect each other
Right.
against the new girls, or really not attack the new girls. And then Brooks says about like when Jim's asking about like this stuff that he said about them to Tamra about the marriage not working, them hating each other and stuff. Brooks says, "Well, consider the source."
Mm. And what's
And this gets back to Tamra,
mhm.
that he said, "Consider the source," and the Tamra goes, she's so excited.
She's
She's
so ready
found
to
it
go.
in. She hates Brooks so much. She's
She
so
hates
ready
Brooks
to
so much,
dog
and
walk him.
she's tired of putting maxi pads on Heather at this party.
She's like, "Let's get it started, baby." She's, "Consider the source. Consider the source.
Consider the source. And she's like waving around a dildo.
And Brooks is like, "Well, I just meant, consider the source." And she destroys him in the
She
argument. She's like,
destroys
"That
him.
means that you think that I'm not trustworthy." And he's like, "Well, no, I was just saying, about like Brooks is like he's a really good con man, and he is on his back heels." And Tamara is just like eating him up. And it gets so bad that Jim and Megan, like Jim's finally like so mad
He's
at
had
Megan
enough.
for
Yeah. Taylor
bringing out his
Armstrong
inner
enough.
drama queen.
Yeah, he's like, why?
"Let's go."
He's like, why do you always have to talk?
Yes,
According to
so
Jim,
rude.
his wife isn't supposed to speak. Yeah.
And it's like, "Shut up, Jim. You loved it."
Yeah.
And then
He's like,
he's
I don't
yeah.
like this. I don't want to do this. Why are you getting? He's like so tired at her. Like
Yeah.
he's such an asshole. Don't
But
go to
it's
the
like
party.
he lives for it.
Yeah.
I hate, you can't have your cake and eat it too. And then I think it's is it Vicki? I think it's Vicki who yells, "I give it 5 years, Jim,"
Yeah,
which,
and she was right.
incidentally, she was right. They were divorced after exactly 5
Like,
years.
what, 5 years? Okay, so we're gonna take a break. Okay, so
Mhm.
can we finish recording tonight?
Do you look, can we just get it done? I like, look how
Do you think
little
we
we
can
have
get
left on the outline. I think
do
we
you
can
think
get
we
it
can do
done.
you think we
The rest is
okay, okay.
just cancer. Yeah, okay.
And we're back.
And we're back. So now that this is all out in the open, the cancer storyline and everything, Vicki goes to Oklahoma to buy Brianna a Range Rover, which is basically, it
What she
seems like
does all the
a
time. Yeah,
bribe.
but Brianna maybe knows this time, except that she didn't know the last time her mom bought her a luxury vehicle, she's going to have to make the monthly payments.
Yes, that too. Yeah, and also I think it's like she basically wants her to testify on her behalf.
Yeah, and
Like,
Vicky, it's also so funny when Vicky goes to Oklahoma, she's like, there's tornadoes here, Brianna." Like, she just thinks that, like, her daughter has, like, taken up, like, is shooting up heroin the way that she's talking to Brianna about, like, considering purchasing a home in Oklahoma is freaking
yes,
her out.
it's very like Jen from New Jersey and Oklahoma, where she's just talking shit about Oklahoma the whole time.
Yeah, she's like,
Um,
"Nobody lives here. I've never even heard of Oklahoma. Look at that. There's only 3 houses on a whole block."
but they're so cheap to buy big ones. Anyway, so while Vicky is gone, the other women now they really get into questioning the claims. Heather talks about resveratrol. So Heather mentions like resveratrol that Brooks mentioned in front of her many episodes ago. It's actually something that's found in red wine. It's not
Mhm.
really a cancer fighting
Right,
agent.
it can't help you if you have stage 4 cancer in your blood, in your bones.
Yeah, it seems more like she's like maybe he's trying to sell resveratrol with this doctor, or maybe it's an excuse for him to drink a lot of red wine on camera. And so then she also talks about the doctor friend who, Brooks was trying to like validate by being like, well, Heather and Terry know him. He's a great doctor. And then Heather's like, well, he's my lipo doctor. Like he works
Right.
at a med spa. He's not like a, oncologist.
Right, yeah, yeah.
And he Brooks is going around saying that one night like he was really sick, throwing up, and Terry helped him and came
Right,
over. And it's like Terry,
and
I think they maybe called it. He never came
yeah, he
over.
never came out. Heather's like, "That's not a that never happened." She's like, "I
Hmm.
think maybe he called him once and asked him something, but it wasn't about being sick," and but Terry certainly didn't go over to the house. So this is something that really pisses off Heather, that this is a really big
Hmm.
lie that now she's now involved with. And Terry is an actual, like, real medical doctor who performs surgery on people, wouldn't wanna be associated with any sort of fake cancer ever,
Right, right.
right?
Yeah. And then also the one person who's still been defending Vicky,
Mm,
Shannon,
mm,
finds out that Vicky, well, first of all, she's been completely ignored and blown off by Vicky because Vicky's so mad at all the other women, and she's still like Shannon is catching strays. So
yep,
Shannon's like, that's bullshit. And then also Vicky is leaking that David cheated on Shannon. So she's like kind of furious because
she's
she's been so
done.
loyal to her.
Yep,
Yeah. And then she opens up and says the friend that she recommended for him, the doctor at City of Hope, the world-class
the
oncologist.
City of Hope. It's
Yep,
hard to get
City of Hope.
it's hard to see specialists there because 'cause
They
they're
film
always
there.
yeah, they film it.
It's a clip from the reunion. They film there. They film at City of Hope. So she has like told that story as an endorsement, but then she finds out that Brooks is saying he actually went to that oncologist friend, and Shannon's
Mm,
like, "That's not true. Actually, it was a huge favor. I had to call her in the middle of the night. She was leaving for Europe,
right.
like the next day. I
Yeah.
had her squeeze him in. He never showed
He
up."
never showed up, and this is a world-class oncologist that, like,
Hmm.
well, and we also find out, like, with Meagan, she knows about City of Hope and the doctors there because I think Leanne saw specialists there. And
Right, right.
Meagan also does bring up, like, I wish that, like, I could have been able, like, that Shannon that I could have gotten Leanne to see some of the specialists that Shannon was able to get Brooks
Yeah.
to see, because maybe that they would have helped Leanne.
Yeah, it's like, it's not just
It
that she's trying to stay on the
sucks.
show. She is a real like, she's
Yeah.
really upset that this is
Yeah,
happening on
it
camera,
yeah,
and
it's fucked
she's
up.
It's fucked
It
up,
is.
and she's the one who I don't like, she was pushing it, like, she was being like, "Well," like, to sh like, even though, like, we're not mentioning her as much because a lot of the details are about other women, she's the one pushing it to Heather, like, "Well, he said this about Terry. Well, he said," to Shannon, "Well, he said this about Shannon." She's
Mhm,
really pushing it, and she's the
mhm.
one who's getting the most flack from Vicki, but she does not let up.
Never.
Um, but
And
Brooks
she's
and
not
Vicki aren't letting
wrong.
up either. She's
Yeah,
not
and
wrong,
she
she's right.
she does have a very personal connection to this, like, because she knows somebody who is dying of cancer, right?
It's
Like, she
actually
sees
the
it.
exact plot of the Royal Tenenbaums. I realized, when I was writing this
Less
outline.
less
Meg
tracksuits.
Less tracksuits, but it's like, Brooks is faking pancreatic cancer so
Mhm.
that, and, like, faking, like, deadly pancreatic cancer
Right,
so that everyone will forgive him,
right.
love him, maybe he'll get his career back, he'll get, like, Vicky's family,
Mhm.
but because Megan knows what cancer looks like, she knows what it looks like, when someone's dying of cancer, she's like
Really?
the Danny Glover character
Yeah.
who's like, "Eh,
This is
does
not how
not
you
pass the smell
act. Yeah,
test."
this is
Yeah,
not yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, and also Brooks is like a grifter, like
Yeah, he's a
like a
grifter, and I
Royal
mean, she's
Tenenbaum.
not wrong for being obviously very upset, but yeah, I wish Leanne could have been able to see those
Yeah,
specialists too.
yeah, it's really
It
sad.
sucks.
I mean, I
Yeah.
think that Jim probably can afford to give
He
her
can, but it's still
world-class
hard. So even
treatment.
if you can, sometimes it's just also
The
hard just to
all booked
get.
up and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
right. Yeah,
to get in.
yeah.
Um, so, Brooks and Vicki, they're fighting back. They have
Mhm.
Tamra come over and look at Brooks's test
Medical.
results, his
Yeah,
lab results,
his
his CAT
lab
scan, I
results.
believe. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
and it says City of Hope.
It says City of Hope, and it also has, and when it shows the results of the findings, it has no spaces
No
anywhere in
spaces.
the document.
Even like not even like just like when it's like, "Hi, here are your results of this." Yeah, all of like the wording is all together.
It's
There's
like
no
abnormal
syntax. No,
findings. It's in a big tumor
she's like,
growing 1.5. She's like,
yeah,
I don't
and
know
he's
if I
like,
can read this.
they're like, "See, cancer, plain as in black and white." It's like there's no
And
spacing. Like
there's no
there's
space.
no, yeah. There's
It's
this is crazy.
misspelled.
Right. This
Like,
is like a City of Hope is like a world class. It's renowned for its oncologists. Supposed to be one of the best in the country. So I don't think they would ever print off results that looked like this with so many just grammatical
yes,
errors.
yes, and we get endorsement of that from Meagan, Edmonds, and I think Terry. That's like, because Tamra is scared to go out on a limb. She still wants to
She
look like the
still
good guy, so
she
she's like,
well
"Duh, I don't
uh,
understand this. Oh well, I guess I'll tell people." Duh, duh, duh. And everyone's like, "Tamra, the reason that they had you read it is because you're basically illiterate. Like you're obviously a genius at at reality TV, but like they know that you're not going to understand." And then also Detective Meagan King Edmonds called the lab at City of Hope.
mhm.
The lab there doesn't do CAT scans anymore. They
Oh,
actually send them to like a, third party
yeah.
lab
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
So that's really the smoking gun. Everyone know, like, it's over. It's over for
It's
Vicky.
over. Yeah, it's over. It's over. You can put down your green juices, Brooks. The jig is up.
The jig is up. Well, yeah, the jig is. I misspoke. The jig is up for Brooks, but the women are still giving Vicky an out, even
Yeah,
though she brought out a color coded binder that she said had all of his cancer information. Even though it's
she knows
so
when she sees
clear,
all of his doctors, she knows about all of his different medications. She's got it tabbed with all like what time he's supposed to take all of his medications,
which is a
when he's
lie.
supposed to
It's like
see the specialist. Yeah, yeah.
it's clearly she's lying for him, but the women still want to give her an out that like
Right.
he's
Is he
tricked you. He's
What
tricked
does
you,
he
Vicky.
have on you that's making you do this? You
He's
don't have
blackmailing you.
He's
Yeah, yeah.
blackmailing. Is he hurting you? Is What's he doing to you because you wouldn't be doing this? Because they are all very surprised that a woman as like she's always talking about wanting to fill up her love tank and stuff, but she's being so grifted by this guy.
Irresponsible too. Yeah, with
Irresponsible,
all of
giving like
her.
she would never just stop like fuck up her relationship with her kids for a guy like this. It's crazy. She'll do it for other things, but this is so crazy that she does this for Brooks.
Yeah, it's like it's clear she is being manipulated a lot, but they kind of want to in the narrative maybe like if she will admit it and if she can blame it all on him and kind of get off a little easier.
Scot free, yeah, and I don't think
Yeah.
she ever. I still don't think she ever really recovered from this season. I think she's always going to be sort of aligned with
Yeah. I don't think she ever
Brooks.
got over Brooks, to be honest.
I don't think she did
So
either.
then really the final nail in the coffin, the one of the, like, people who was going to be on, or who Vicki wanted on her side to endorse the Brooks cancer and still maybe have a chance at fighting back, Tamra meets with Brianna, who's in town. And she explains, yep, Brooks has been saying this for a long time. He told
Yeah,
me years ago when I met him that
right.
he had stage 4 pancreatic cancer. He was telling Vicki that when she was with Dawn. And that's part of the reason she left Dawn, because she's like, oh, we only have a little time left. And
Mhm.
then when Brianna asked follow-up questions, because she's a nurse, he crumbled and said, actually, I have pancreatitis, which is a disease that many alcoholics get
Mhm.
from alcohol abuse. And then once you have it, you are really not supposed to drink
You're
ever again,
never
or you
supposed to
could
drink
die.
again. Yeah. Like, you have to be really even really careful with, like, your diet, like, the way that your body, like, processes even, like, fats and stuff. Like, it's pretty serious. And it's nothing like pancreatic cancer.
It's
And
nothing like
Brianna
pancreas. Yeah,
talks about that. She's like, "I know what a pancreatic cancer patient looks like, and they don't look like that stage 4. They can barely do anything. They can barely,
yeah.
like, lift their head up to say anything. This guy's walking around, and he's doing all these things, and he's drinking, and he's eating normally. This is not what this looks like, ever."
Right. And she also has some additional information that his ex-girlfriends had, one had a blog, and I believe, like, one spoke to Brianna and,
Brianna,
like,
yeah.
warned her, and they both said the same thing, he
He
fakes
faked
cancer.
he fakes, yep. Not
Um,
great.
Not great. So when Meagan hears about this, she texts the ex-girlfriend with the block. And Vicky's so mad, and they're like, the women could totally flip here and like support Vicky and be like, actually, this has gone too far, da, 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 da. But they shit on Megan a little, but they stay on
They're like,
Megan's side, yeah,
yeah,
in their
yeah.
defense,
Because
yeah, which is like
really,
unheard of in
Be
OC.
b yeah, because faking cancer is
It's too
really,
far.
really, really a bridge too far.
But then again, I still think, look at Beverly Hills,
Mm,
look at New Jersey, or not New Jersey, what's it called? Salt Lake City, where they were to like, we know that, like,
Jen
Erica,
Trump.
I mean, yeah, they gave her an out to
Yeah, they did.
completely blame
Yeah,
it on, her husband. They completely let her write that narrative, even though it's like, probably she was complicit. She's at least
yeah,
a
she was
bad
complicit.
person for not
Yeah.
caring.
Yeah, like, you don't
Um,
get suspicious if one day you just have $20 million in your checking account.
and it was all under her name, like,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah,
And then
okay,
same with,
girl.
like, Jen Shaw, it's like she clearly was so guilty. And then
Right.
both of them, they let they stay completely on their side. They could have flipped here, but they didn't. They
They
stuck with
didn't.
Megan. They did, like, shit on her for texting the ex as
Calling the
platform for
ex-girlfriends.
Housewives. But,
Yeah,
like,
they were like, "You know what? She's mentioning it all, and this is gonna be a good season." Yep.
hell yes. Okay, so it's Tamara's baptism.
Yeah, we're at the finale.
Well, we get more of, like, the kind of, like, dumb sketch
Everyone's in
comedy
white.
Tamara's giving all season. Yeah,
Billy's
everyone's in
there.
white. Tamara's, like, talking to her pastor about her titties
They're
and
at the
stuff
same
to make him
Sheridan. They're
uncomfortable.
at the
Same
same
Sheridan,
Sheridan
where
that,
they got tickets for filming.
yeah, yeah, Shannon had,
Dr. Tina's invited. But I would say a good thing about this Christianity plot is that Vicky starts to kind of try to pick it up for herself. And when
mhm,
she's being accused, she's so furious about being accused of faking cancer. And she's like, these people, this is the devil's work. This is
this
coming
is
from
the dev
Satan's
yeah,
lips. Like,
yeah,
she
this is
feels
coming
it
from
for
Satan's.
herself.
I have to tell you, but just going back to Tamara's baptism for a second, like, watching her, like, be dunked underwater in that beautiful hotel pool is one of the greatest montages in all of television history because you hear her like talking like, like, I'm being saved. This is the most beautiful day. And then it's montages of like her screaming at people like, because he's not for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She gave
Jesus
comedy this
Jones, you
season.
fucking bitch. Like, you just hear all of the times she's attacked those closest to her.
Yeah, it's like
It's
one of the
magic.
more successful, like, funny low stakes fake plots from
Yeah,
the show for
but it
sure.
is so funny. It
It's
is such
so
a good
funny.
yeah, it is such a because we needed that because faking cancer is very
It's
dark.
dark. Yeah, and it also lightens up the fake cancer plot the way that Vicky suddenly is like, "Well, I'll do the same thing. I'll be Christian so no one will be mad at
And
me."
then
And you're
she
like,
says one of
"But
the
Satan
greatest
lies. Satan is a
this
liar.
that she
You want
says
Satan."
And then when, Shannon's getting upset with her and, "How dare you do that?" This is now, the baptism is over and people are now going up to not congratulating Tamra, but now they're going up to Vicki, like Heather saying, like, "You lied about Terry helping Brooks." And then, everyone's like, "Now it's all
And she's
done."
like, "I
Now
can't talk about that. I can't
she's
talk
like, "I
about that
can't."
right
She's
now."
like, and then she says one of the greatest lines in Real Housewives history. "I'm being nailed to the Christ like Jesus was."
Being crucified on the cross like Jesus was.
I'm being nailed to the cross like Jesus was, and he didn't do anything wrong. He didn't do anything wrong. And she's yelling this at a baptism.
Yeah, he's like, "You should have been kissing his feet. You should have been bringing him casseroles."
Casseroles! Yes, just like what somebody wants who has cancer after chemo is to eat casseroles.
This whole sequence is so hot. Like, it's so underrated as a finale, the last, like, 10 minutes. So
Mhm.
Vicki is also she's brought in, Billy, her brother, who's
Billy.
also on the payroll, and his
Yep.
new girlfriend in the
Right.
limo,
Who's like,
and,
she signed a waiver saying she'd be on TV, but she has no idea what's been happening.
no
They've been
idea other
they've
than
been
what
stuck in the
Vicki's
yeah,
prepped her
mom.
for. Like,
Yeah,
Vicki
yeah.
has completely prepped her with a mission. Like, she doesn't know any of these women, and
They're in
this
a
she,
limo.
they're in a limo, yeah, talking about like, well, we'll only stay for an hour, and like, how dare like Shannon do that? And the girlfriend's like, yeah, how dare she? She's never met Shannon, doesn't know who that is.
There's an open bar at this baptism.
Yeah, and so at the open bar line, the girlfriend comes up to Shannon and says, "How dare you not
There's
support your
support.
friend
Great.
whose
Yeah.
boyfriend has cancer?
Uh-oh,
This is
you
why
don't
your
say
husband
that.
cheated on you."
Oh, no. You don't say that
She's
to
like,
Shannon. Shannon's
Shannon's like,
activated.
Shannon's like, "What's your name?" She's
Yeah,
like, "I have
she's
no
like, "I'm
idea."
sorry, are you the same Meagan that called me earlier this season? I don't know who you are. I start Charity's Billy's girlfriend."
And Shannon, like, she does start like calmly, just because she's so like, "What is happening?" She's
Yeah,
like, "Well, you don't really know what you're talking about," and then like the girlfriend's like, "Oh, I knew everything that I need to know," and it's so funny to see like just like a normal like Midwestern woman in her 50s, like
yeah.
just thrown into the
Yeah,
mix.
she's
Like,
just like she's like,
I'm a housewife now.
I'm with Uncle Billy." And Uncle Billy's like, "I don't know what's going on, folks."
Anyway, it gets like and while this is happening, also Tamra's like being like, "Please, Vicki, like tell us what he's doing to you." And Heather's like,
Yeah.
"Just stop leaving. Like, what's going on? We want to
"Stop
help
walking away,
you.
Vicky." Yeah,
Why are
yeah.
you always running
Running.
away?"
"Why are you always running away?" Ugh, yeah.
But she run away. She flees away with Billy and the
She flees, calls
girlfriends.
her driver, calls the limo's at the door. Shannon's right there wanting
Shannon's
answers.
so hurt by Vicki. She's like, "How could you I was the one who supported you. How could you do this to me?" But it ends with them driving off and all of the women united together and like, well, we cracked the case.
Yeah, we cracked the case at Tamra's baptism.
It's like the
Just
end
as,
of like a Law and
yeah,
Order episode.
just as
High
God
fives.
intended. "I'm being nailed to the cross like Jesus was, and he didn't do anything wrong. He didn't do anything wrong."
Didn't do anything wrong. So this is we won't get too much into the reunion. It is I think the best reunion ever.
It's
Like,
incredible.
it's by far the best ever, just because we're actually, unlike with the season 10 Vanderpump Scandal, we get answers about almost everything. Vicki
Everything.
confesses even. A lot
Yeah.
of times they never confess. They let them
Mhm.
keep deflecting and stuff, but no,
She had
they
to.
relent. She was
Yeah.
well, also she seems like kind of like Xanaxed out of her mind. She's like
She
so
is.
deflated.
She
Even
is, 'cause
Andy's like, "Are you on Xanax?" Like,
because like this season, like, so they haven't shot the reunion until the season, like viewers are almost done watching it, so they've seen
she's getting
everything. She's just
destroyed.
getting destroyed in the public. Brooks has done interviews where he talked about and admitted that he faked his results
Lab,
because
yeah.
his lab
He didn't want
results
to share his real results.
because of HIPAA.
Yeah. So
Crazy.
you don't have to. HIPAA is to protect people. You as a person don't have to protect the law of
Yeah,
HIPAA.
it would be like if your doctor is just showing people your test result, like not other medical professionals. That's HIPAA, not whatever the fuck Brooks is doing, not falsifying documents. That is not HIPAA.
Yeah, he's basically like continuing. Brooks doesn't let up. He continues to double down, but the ladies kind of like go after Vicki. Brianna shares a lot of stuff about why she doesn't like Brooks, that he's abusive, that
Right.
he, like hit on
That
her. He's
well,
disgusting
that, and then also that he has been that way to Vicki, and
from the
that
beginning.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that fact that like 'cause she's like, "He's never physically hurt me," and then Brianna's like, "He
Yes, he has.
has, and I know it." because I've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, he just sucks,
He
obviously.
just
And
sucks. He's a
the thing is, she's hearing all this, and but she's like,
it's
she
not
still
being
loves him, even though he's dumped her. He knows that
he's
like
gone,
he
yeah.
can't stay
Yeah,
hitched to this like
and
money
she
wagon
says that.
anymore.
Yeah, she says that. She's like, "And because of all of this, he left me." It's
That's
like,
what she's actually upset
"Girl,
about. She was
girl."
so no, like another thing in the Bravo fandom, another theory that we have is no one was getting dicked down the way that Vicki was in these Brooks seasons. She was
Yeah.
so horny for him,
I
like
just
that
can't
she
imagine
ruined her
any guy
life.
being that good. Like, I've had great sex, but I can't imagine
I
being
think a
in
lot of
on
it
a
was the
cancer
emotional
grift.
turmoil, you know? I mean, and I think like I do wonder like how much they talked about it. I do think he was sick. Like Brianna said, I do think he had like
Something.
pancreatitis.
Yeah,
That
because he
makes you really
drinks.
sick.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much they talked about it and coordinated. I don't even know if they really acknowledged it was
I don't
all
think
bullshit,
that, and
you
I
know?
don't think that Vicki ever saw Meagan coming, or like, I don't think she ever thought it would
Someone
be
would
the
have the
whole
balls.
it would be
Yeah.
the entire season would be about Brooks faking cancer this way.
Yeah, and, like, really what put them over the top was the resveratrol. Like,
Mm,
if he hadn't been and this is the problem of all the men on OC, it's not enough just to use it as a platform. They also have to have their grifts and, like, they're, like, hawking their shitty products and, like, have an alternate angle, and that's what really busted him, was that he not only wanted to pretend he had cancer and got better, and Vicki wanted him to do that so people would film with him and like him, he wanted to do it because he wanted to sell fake which that is the
right.
biggest, most fucked up part, that he wanted to sell snake oil.
Yeah.
He
To
wanted to pull a
sick
Bella
people.
Gibson to people who are actually sick,
Real
and that's the
really
part
sick.
that's so irresponsible and that, like, it infuriates me, the idea of, like, what if he hadn't been called out,
Right.
you know? It's what infuriates me about Jen Shaw too and Erica Jane, but, like, this
Erica
is
Jane.
worse than that because they're
Yeah.
not, like, he could have
This
killed
cancer is
people.
like different. Like, it's a
It's a
different.
whole different thing. It's a whole
So
different
like
thing.
that's like actual, like, you're a psychopath. This is what like how would you even dream this up? And now we said it.
And now we said it. But anyway, Vicki finally does relent and is like, "Yeah, I was lying for him." And
Yeah.
that to me is like the most special, I think, moment of the season. The moment we'll never get again.
She's like,
Everyone is
yeah.
too PR
She's
trained.
like,
They know
I
to ignore
lied.
it. And
I
she's just
knew.
like, she's done. She's like, "Yeah, I knew.
I
I
know.
knew.
I knew.
I loved him. I wanted to be with him. I still want to be with
Yeah.
him."
Yeah. 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 And
And
he
now he said
left
it.
me, and now he said it. Yeah.
Although I did look up
Here lies
Brooks.
Vicky's career.
Here, let's yeah. Well, she'll always be a Kodo. Her
She'll always
Kodo,
be.
her life insurance career will be eternal, as she told Michael. But I think I did look up Brooks recently, and it does seem
Oh,
like he's kind of gone on the straight and narrow. It's like he's
good.
another like, you know, I think he's doing like marketing jobs or something. He's on LinkedIn.
Pharmaceutical
That's a
sales.
big step up for him. Yeah,
Yeah.
pharmaceutical sales. So the most competitive job. Well, actually, that is the job for courtesans, and like Meagan, he is kind of a courtesan,
Partisan.
but an
Okay.
evil courtesan. All right. So that's gonna be it for our episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want more OC coverage, we've covered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We skipped 9. We'll go back to it. That's all on our every episode of OC recapped playlist. And comment below if there's a classic season you want us to cover next. We're so sorry we didn't get to Miami. COVID,
Sorry.
work trips, a lot went on, and now we're 2 behind, and we're scared. Okay, love you guys. Bye, students.
Okay.
These girls are having a breakdown. Bravo breakdowns. These girls are going insane now. Bravo.